Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. Wanted to do a video. Haven't really done one like this before, and I'll explain why. So, pretty much, gotta get my chair over here, get situated. So what you're looking at is 5 different Satterlee load tests that I've worked up. These bottom 4 are 6mm Creedmoor. I've actually got 5 total worked up. I've got the other 10 sitting off in a Lyman reloading block. So we're testing 5 different powders with those in the 6mm. But this back row, this is the one I want to talk about. This is the whole point of this video. Back row, it's the 308, the 168 grain Speer Gold Dot. So I bought a couple boxes of these a while back. Did some initial testing with them with Hodgdon Varget and Hodgdon H4895. Didn't really get, I don't know, maybe my expectations were a little too high, but didn't really see super amazing results. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Didn't really get super amazing results. I think my expectations were a little too high, so I've kind of metered those somewhat. And so this is going to be a hunting load. And so if I can, I don't know, maybe hover right around an inch or a little under an inch at 100 yards, I think we're just going to let it fly. That'll be good. So I'm going to lower those expectations. But the whole point of this video is I completely screwed up. Man, I made a huge mistake that could have been very, very bad. So it's been raining a lot. Thank the Lord, because I haven't been able to get out and shoot, which is a good thing. And I'll explain why. So I'm sitting here, and today is actually Sunday. This video will probably get uploaded tomorrow on Monday. But we finally have a break in the weather here in North Alabama. We had a ton of rain come through this past week. Massive flooding everywhere in the area, pretty bad. And so today the sun is shining, super awesome day. I was like, man, I might actually make it out to the range. Probably won't today, but man, I'm glad I haven't gone and shot, because this stuff is loaded way overcharged, like big time. And so I'm sitting here, and I was like, you know what, this is loaded up with H4895. I was going to do a Satterlee load test with that, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll do one with Varget as well, just, you know, for whatever reason. I mean, I'm testing different powders in 6mm. Might as well throw a couple of different powders up there for 308. I've got a lot of Varget. I don't have a ton of H4895, but I've got a whole lot of Varget, so might as well throw some of that on there too. So I started looking in the Lee, let's see if I can get it here. In the Lee, this bad boy right here, which is the, yep, was that 2nd edition modern reloading. I was looking in that manual because I believe that's where I pulled the information from for this test. And so I'm going down through here, and I know you guys can't read it, but so I was going down through here, and I was looking. So we got a 168 grain jacketed bullet. That's kind of how they break everything down. I have a lot of powders listed here, so that's why I like using this manual also. And I check Lyman and Hornady and all that as well. Even though it's not a Hornady bullet, I also check Speer's website, because they have load data posted on their website. So I went and looked at all of those areas, and I was like, all right, let me find Varget. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Varget for 168 grain bullet, which is what we're shooting, and it shows a max of 46 grains and a minimum of 42. So min 42, max 46. And I come over to my notes, and I'm looking at my Satterlee load test, my notes here, right? You guys really can't read that either. I'm not going to bother focusing the camera for it. I'm just going to tell you. And I was showing, I started at the max charge, or I worked up to the max charge of 46 grains. Now this is H4895. And then I backed off in 0.2 of a grain increments. So that puts me starting at 44.2, working up to 46. So then I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. It ends at 46. I was like, that's the same max charge as Varget. I was like, I mean, it's just, I thought it was coincidental. I was like, man, that's interesting if they're going to have the same max charges. So I come down here and I'm looking at 48.95 and it says 43.5 is the max. And I'm like, how in the world did I get 46 when it shows right here the max is 43.5? That's not good. So I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, holy crap. Man, I'm over the max by 2.5 grains. That's a pretty good bit of powder to be loading over the max. So I'm sitting there, I was like, maybe I thought it was Varget. Maybe I thought I was loading Varget and went to 46. So, but typically that'd be the first time I've ever made that mistake, confusing the powders that I'm loading. Never really had that issue before. And so I went and looked at Speer's website, same thing. Looked at the Hornady manual, the Lyman manual, trying to find bullets that are comparable, because they're not going to have Speer load data in the Hornady manual, but trying to find a 168 grain bullet and all that, and everything is saying, right around this max charge. So I'm like, how in the world did I do that? So here's how I did it, and I almost screwed up big time. So I got to pull all these bullets. You flip back one page, and this is the 155 grain jacketed bullet section, okay, for 308. Now here's where I screwed up. I've been wanting to order Speer 155 grain gold dots in 308. I had in my mind I'm going to order some of these, but I haven't ordered them yet. I'm still working out of the box of 168 grain. So what I did, because I'm an idiot, is I looked at the 155 grain data, and it's got H4895 and it shows a max charge of 46. So that, yeah, just there you go. There's your reloading stupidness of the day, big time, because that could have been really bad. So I was a full 2.5 grains over the max charge for the 168 grain bullet. Yeah, I mean, that was just, wow. Yeah, I could have screwed that up pretty bad. So there you go. That is the reloading. Hey, don't blow your gun up in your face and all that fun stuff. Tip of the day. Make sure you double check your sources of information. Make sure you're paying attention to what in the heck you're doing, because I clearly did not. That's the first time that I can recall. I haven't been reloading long, just the past, I think I got started about 4.5 years ago, somewhere in that range. And that's the first time that I can even think of, mixing up powder charges on different bullet weights, operating off one bullet weight when it was inaccurate. So just make sure you double check your measurements, double check your, everything that you're doing when you're reloading. So it's easy to get sidetracked and not pay attention to what in the heck you're doing, and make sure you document everything. So this is kind of a good case where, so there you go. So there's my notes on the, so I even wrote it down, Satterlee load test, H4895. That's my powder. That's what I'm loading it to. I'm using the Federal Gold Medal Match primers, and there are the grains going out to 46. So that right there, I was like, holy crap. So now I got to pull these bullets, just the 10 in the back. I just got to pull those and work up a new load test. So there you go. I appreciate y'all checking out the video. So mistakes do happen. They're easily made. when it comes to reloading. You just have to really pay attention to what in the heck you're doing. So that's it. There you go. There's the, oh, and that's the thing too. I mean, like so if you'll notice, let me get this back in.